I was extremely happy the day I became the youngest Grandmaster. It was just a shock to me, you know. Well, St. Louis is just, most of the best tournaments in the world in the US are in St. Louis. So the RCC was absolutely my favorite event ever. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't want to just make forced draws with everyone, even after I qualified.
Hello, chess fans. Welcome to the interview with Grandmaster Sam Sevian. Sam, thank you for accepting this interview.
Thank you.
Okay, from
Thanks for having me.
2009 to 2014, you broke all the records in the United States chess history. You were the youngest expert, the youngest national master, international master, grandmaster. You were also the youngest ever American continental champion from Medellin. So actually, how many records did you set when you were a junior?
I'm not sure exactly how many, but I definitely wanted all of the records back then. I also won the World Under 12 in
Mm-hmm.
Slovenia.
Yeah, I forgot to
So I
mention
think
that.
that's probably
Yeah.
the best moment so far I've had the World Youth Championship. Of all the records, yeah, I mean Grandmaster, International Master at the time. Of course, they've been broken now, but yeah, was very happy to break them at the time.
Do you
And
remember?
American Continental was, I think I won it at 16 or 17.
Mm-hmm.
So that was probably the biggest win I had at the time.
Okay. Do you remember how you felt as the youngest grandmaster? Did you feel famous?
I was extremely happy the day I became the youngest Grandmaster. It was just a shock to me, you know. It's just a lot of happiness, and like all the hard work to get there.
Hmm.
Uh, More fame, maybe a little bit, but yeah, just euphoria in the moment.
Okay, currently you're number 8 in the United States. You were already above 2700, currently 2689. What is needed to establish yourself in the 2700 club or maybe in the world's top 30 players?
Yeah, there's not that much that separates like a 2740 from even a 2650.
Hmm.
It's consistent results and like a big jump. You can see a lot of the young players, they have two, three, four good tournaments in a row. They gain 50 points and then they establish themselves in the top, and that's basically needed for me.
Do you have a trainer or someone that is helping you now?
Not really. I mostly work alone. I try to find some training partners
Mhm.
from time to time, but I'm usually just working alone all day.
I see now in Europe it's popular for chess players, just to meet in some place and play friendly matches. I see that they do this in Norway, in Germany. Have you
Yeah,
considered
yeah,
something like?
definitely.
Hmm.
Just not easy for me because of my location. A
Hmm.
lot of the best US players live in a different state, and obviously going to Europe for me is not that easy either.
You are based in Boston, right?
I'm based in Boston, yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to your beginnings. I understand your father is a candidate master, so that really helped a lot when you were young. Who else trained you to break all those records?
Yeah, so my father was a candidate master, and his, I think, second or third grade teacher was famous composer Genrikh Gasparian,
Hmm.
and that kind of helped him, fall in love with the game. That's kind of why he taught me how to play.
Okay.
So he taught me until I was about 7, 8, but we worked on and off together until I was about international master. Besides him, it was my first coach, Andronik Matikozian. Um,
He's from Armenia or United States?
he's from Armenia, but we met him in Los Angeles,
Aha.
and I worked with him again around when I was 8 to about 13. I worked with him a lot, so that's how I began.
Hmm. Okay. You also trained with Kasparov Chess Foundation.
Yes, so I think I joined the Casper Chess Foundation when I was about 10 or 11.
Hmm.
And, every 6 months we had a training camp with him. And obviously, I tried to ask as many questions as I could to, get into his brain.
Hmm.
That definitely helped a bit as well.
Okay, that's great. I saw you often play tournaments in St. Louis and in Jermuk, Armenia. What is it that makes them your favorite places?
Well, St. Louis is just, most of the best tournaments in the world in the US are in St. Louis. So I have to play in St. Louis. All the best players are there. So, there's no other place in the US I'd rather play in. And Jermuk is in Armenia. Obviously, both my parents are Armenians. and I love going to Armenia and playing tournaments, and especially in Jermuk, it's high elevation,
Mhm.
and I really enjoy just the
It's like a
mountain
lake or
view.
spa or famous resort,
Yeah,
something like.
there are spa areas, mountainous areas,
Okay,
good
that's great.
hiking areas.
I checked your Twitter feed, and your last post is from exactly 1 year ago when you won the 9LX tournament in St. Louis. So I have two questions about this. When will you become more active on Twitter?
Yeah, that's a good question. I always consider being more active on social media, but I decide, will it benefit me that much? So maybe in the future, maybe this year in 2025, I'll try
Mhm.
more tweeting, more engaging with social media, but I don't know, we'll see.
I remember that while I was on chess.com, that there were plans to help the top players to establish their social presence because they felt this is important, to present yourself to the wider audience.
Mhm.
Okay, and the second question, was that the greatest result of your career?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the only super tournament I've won so far, and I was definitely working hard before that tournament. I believe I'm one of the best 960 players in the world, and I was happy to show it in that event.
Okay, great. Do you think you have enough opportunities to play in strong tournaments?
Definitely not right now. I think, like I said in the first question, being 27-20, even maybe even higher, 27-30 is very important because you get invites to a lot of the strong tournaments in Europe, all over the world. And right now, I basically only play in the St. Louis events.
Mm-hmm. You played in Tata Steel Challengers once, maybe, or
Twice, yeah.
twice.
That after I became Grandmaster, I played that year and the
Mm-hmm.
next year.
Okay, so maybe this can be an invitation to Tata Steel to invite you to January events, or maybe Grand Chess Tour. Um, so basically, you rely only on St. Louis Chess Club to play the good tournaments. Uh, are you satisfied with the United States Chess Federation and their work?
I mean, the United States Chess Federation doesn't do much for their players. It's really Rex and the St. Louis Chess Club
Mm-hmm.
that help the players. I mean, besides the US Championship, again, the 9LX,
Mm-hmm.
they do Grand Chess Tour events, and they added the American Cup, which is a very nice event in March, kind of like a knockout event for American players. So yeah, Rex Linfield does pretty much everything for American chess, not the Federation.
Okay, I guess you followed the Speed Chess Championship in Paris, the finals.
Mhm.
Very surprised by the results. All the matches were kind of won by large margins.
Oh, the margins, yes, for sure. Especially Firouzja beating Nakamura by such a huge margin, I
Mm-hmm.
think, was very, very interesting. But, when it's a best of one, anything can happen. And it is a best of one, and it's a new environment for even those four who play in, you know, tournaments with crowds more often than others. Uh, it's still new to them to play with a crowd cheering on during the game. So I think Nakamura maybe was even nervous on the first day, and nerves kicked in for all the players.
Would you like to try to play in front of such crowd?
Yeah, I think it would be very exciting. When I played in Toronto, it was a similar area, but there was no crowd. I think it would be
Mm-hmm.
interesting to play with the crowd in attendance.
I don't know if you heard the stories about Investbanka tournament. I was a small kid when I went to watch, and the Kramnik and Gelfand and Ivanchuk
Which
played
tournament?
Investbank in Belgrade.
Oh, okay.
And it was played in the huge concert hall. There were so many players. So after each game, there was a large applause, whatever the result was. So the players really felt appreciated back then, playing in front of the
Oh,
crowd.
I didn't know that's very cool.
Yeah. Uh, what do you think about cheating in online games? Is this topic overblown or underestimated?
Oh man, it really depends on the way you look at it. I
Mhm.
think that sometimes there's some very bad accusations that don't help
Mhm.
the cases at all. There are definitely a lot of, I don't want to say lower rated players, but even higher rated players that are cheating and not getting caught, while people who aren't cheating are getting all this attention. and I think that makes it more difficult for the average viewer and even myself to watch these events because I know this guy's not cheating and this guy might be cheating, but the accusations are the opposite. So it's kind of frustrating to watch.
Yeah. Do you feel that Jose Martinez, for example, or Michal Sarin or someone else that was mentioned in this context, do you think they might be suffering some kind of disadvantage because of this, because they have to constantly prove themselves, and also it's psychologically difficult to be in such position?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you know you're a strong player and you're constantly getting accused, it definitely makes it more difficult because even if you play well, it might not help your case, sometimes.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
played
Jose
these
actually,
two in so many games, so many games, and I've never really felt anything.
you never felt that anyone cheated against you.
Not those two, not those
Oh
two.
no, I mean in general. Have you ever felt that someone, when you're playing on an online game and you feel like,
Oh yeah, of course, of course. I played online chess since I was like 8 years old, and there's so many cases. Yeah, yeah.
okay, so how do you deal with that? Do you report, or you just let it go and allow for the forfeit team to intervene?
Because again, even if I think someone's cheating, it's not a 100% thing. Obviously,
Hmm.
I report. I hope that the process is good,
Hmm.
and most of the time they do get caught, but sometimes they don't. So,
Hmm. Okay. What is your prediction for the upcoming World Championship match in Singapore?
um, well, I think Gukesh is the favorite right now with Ding's current form, but Ding has been playing a little better in
Hmm.
the past couple of events, so maybe he can get to a stable level in which he can give a good fight in the match.
Hmm. Did you consider maybe playing in the Open tournament that is taking place alongside the championship in Singapore?
No, I didn't. I mean, Singapore is so far away from me,
I
and
actually, yes. Yeah.
Asia is further than Europe for me, so it's even harder to play events there.
Yeah. Okay. And will you play in the World Rapid and Blitz Championship in New York?
Yeah, that one I absolutely will play. I'm very happy it's in New York because it's always in a place very far away during,
Hmm.
Christmas and New Year. So
Hmm.
I pretty much never have a chance to play. But yeah, this year it's in New York. I'll absolutely play. I'm hoping to have a good time.
Okay. And what do you think about the changes in the format of the Blitz Championship?
I don't know what happened.
It will be one day Swiss, and then top eight will play the knockout the next day. Like it's like in online events, maybe like a rapid chess
That's
champ.
sort of like the SEC
Yes.
qualifiers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. So knockout. Yeah. I
Mhm.
guess that makes it more um less luck based in a way
Mhm.
when it's match play at the end, but obviously it's luck to get into the top eight, so that'll be interesting.
But I remember I became your huge fan in the Rapid Chess Championships maybe 2 years back, when
Mhm.
it was also played Rapid on Saturday and then Knockout on Sunday. And most of the top
Correct, yeah.
players would come, win 4 or 5 games, and then make quick draws until the end, so just to get to top
Mhm.
eight. And then you appear and you steamroll through the field and you have 8 points or 7.5. You don't
Yes,
care about calculations.
the RCC was absolutely my favorite event ever because it was, a tournament out of nowhere, and you just play on Saturday, and
Mhm.
then you play a knockout on Sunday. It was very fun, and you're playing all these strong players, so
And you
definitely
crush
enjoyed.
everyone.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. I mean, I didn't want to just make forced draws with everyone, even after I qualified, because it's an opportunity to play good players.
Mhm. Okay, and the fans really appreciated that. Um, are you playing in the United States Chess Championship? Because I couldn't find much information, only the dates.
Yeah, yeah. It starts, I believe, October 9th,
Hmm.
and it goes for 2 weeks, and then there's 9LX right away, like 2, 3 days after. So
Hmm.
it's back-to-back events in St. Louis.
You will play in both?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so I have a final question from you, from a certain Gregory Joseph. Maybe you know him.
Hmm.
What are your favorite teams across the various sports?
Yeah, I follow basically all sports. So I'm Massachusetts, Boston based now, but when I was a kid, we lived in the Bay Area in
Hmm.
California.
Hmm.
So I like pretty much all Bay Area and Massachusetts teams in American sports. And in like football, I like Barca, Man City, teams like this.
Thank you so much, Sam, for taking your time to speak to me. I really appreciate it. And I hope I'll have a chance maybe to speak to you again after the good result in championship and 9LX again, maybe.
All right. Thank you, Garen.
Thank you so much and see you soon. Bye-bye.
See you.